Today here at Hunked Out Racing, we're going to be building a 360 Magnum motor for a 1987 Dodge W100. Let's get right to it. I'm on the rocks, guys. Oh yeah, we just finished cleaning up the 360 motor. We're gonna throw on my brother's Dodge and now we're gonna start building it. Just gave her a bath. Now we gotta clean the heads up a little bit and then start slapping her together. We just got it back from the machine shop. We got the heads over here and my brother's working on cleaning up the pistons right now. We're about to start honing this thing and getting it all put back together so it can go on his truck.
We got a nice fat cam we're gonna shove in it too.
Yeah. Let's get right to it. So what we're doing here is we're using this, what is it, a cleaning bit?
It's just the bowl I cut the grooves in to clean the threads for the head.
Yeah.
It's all that rusty shit out. Use ATF because that's what you use. That's what I use.
It's got a cleaning.
ATF is really clean. It's all the rust shit that's there.
Yeah.
I'll spray some brake clean, blow it off with air, and get them all. And this block is really clean, so I'm not really too worried about it.
We got all of our holes cleaned out and just prepped and ready to roll. What's next? The crankshaft and then pistons. And then a big old camshaft. So we got one side honed out. Looking good. Right now we are looping all of its holes. What are you doing here?
Pretty much putting this pistons in a liquid that kind of dissolves any of this kind of gunk or grease or burn markings on it.
Yeah.
And so pretty much.
So these are the pistons that were in the.
So that is
these are what was in the truck before cleaning it. We let it sit in this cleaning compound to get all the grease and stuff off, and then as that's sitting there soaking, he's cleaning this one and getting it all ready. This is the after of what they look like all cleaned up.
Just cleaning up everything. These guys together. Assembly lube. I do 120 degrees from each other, just like I do motorcycle stuff.
A little bit of ATF.
I always use ATF because it's really clean and it doesn't load these rings up with burnt, crusty oil after it gets running. Because there really shouldn't be oil up here. Get a little lube on the pin. ATF kind of disappears really quick. Won't foul the spark plug like you just oil the crap out of it like other people I've seen do. This is a standard spring compressor. Real cheap, generic one. Orientation of the piston has an arrow on it. Looks like a little number 4. It's always to the front of the engine. Has to be that way because the bearing's off to one side. This is the crank side. These to meet between the two pistons is always flush to the machine side. That orientation has to be correct. Bad news.
Dude, there? Yep.
And you do that for the rest of them. Alright, so all the pistons are in, and now we're ready to stick.
Top cam.
Yeah.
752 inches of lift. Durations at 350. It's huge.
It's 480 lift.
It's huge.
Give me,
It's 480 lift on 212 by 218.
Nice. It'll just be a decent cam for this motor. It's the biggest cam you can put in before having to do any head work. So it should be a pretty nasty motor. Alright, we just got the timing chain on. Now we're ready to put the cover on and then oil pan and head. Alright, so we just slapped the valves. They're looking all clean and ready to roll. Got the new bushings put in. And now it's time to put it all together and do the next one. Alright, got all the valves in. Now copy and paste.
So we got these gaskets for the Magnum 360. We just put this copper spray on them just so that they don't leak, and it makes it a better sealing compound. And we get all the heads cleaned up for the gasket stuff. You guys can see that at all. We're getting ready to throw the heads back on, and eventually we're going to oil pressure test it and try to get all of the oil through all the lifters and stuff. We got the lifter sitting over here, getting all nice and gooed up in oil. Alrighty, so we just got the lifters in. We got them all tightened down. And right now we're just getting ready to go ahead and put these heads on. Alright, so we got all the rockers and push rods and everything in, and all the lifters. It's all looking really nice. And right now we are going to grab the oil pump shaft and put it back in here and try to get all the oil through everything and try to pretty much oil pressure test it and make sure there's no leaks or nothing, and then put the valves and intake and all that good stuff on and do all that good crap.
we're gonna prime the motor is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got the valve covers test fitted and the intake manifold on. Next we're going to put the carburetor and air cleaner on. And
Alright, so we just got done painting this thing. Putting some spark plugs in it right now. We finished priming it. We're gonna bolt these all the way up, put the intake on, and pretty much finish the whole rest of the engine. Alright, so we finally finished this thing. Everything that's done to it. It's got Patriot stainless steel headers. They're long tubes. It's got comp cam, 212 to 218 lift, and
Duration.
What's it?
Duration.
Oh, duration and lift is 480. It's got an Edelbrock intake manifold, Edelbrock 4-barrel carb, 4x14 inch intake, high compression oil pump and oil pump shaft. Got fully polished crank, brand new lifters, performance lifters, performance dual chain and sprocket for the timing chain. Got brand new piston rings in it. Ready to put this thing in the engine.
You're gonna put it in the engine?
Or put it in the truck.
Yeah, this thing looks killer. Big old chromey air filter. Nice headers. Painted it all up. She's nice and fresh. Giant cam. This thing's gonna rip.
The recipe calls for about 320 horsepower. 310, 320 horsepower.
Yeah, so.
Should move that little truck along pretty good.
Yeah, for a 87 Dodge, it should go pretty good. So, in the next episode, we'll be taking the motor out of his truck and putting this new one in and get her ripping. For now, I'll see you later.